monsters. He's losing his mind, and he feels it going.
Them on like VHS tapes.
Somebody had one actually.
That was crazy. Yeah, that was funny. One of the original tapes came back to us today. Like someone had signed it.
But originally it wasn't the Angry Video Game Nerd. Originally it was called Bad NES Games.
Yeah.
It was just Bad NES Games and James talking about that. And it wasn't until the third, I think, where he actually named it. But so he did the first video, Simon's Quest. And any quotes you can remember from Simon's Quest that were good?
You know, it's so funny. I'm looking on Wikipedia to see all the episodes. I'm Wikipediaing my own show. It's awesome though. There's like the morning sun has vanquished the horrible night. How about vanquish this horrible game? Right. But does anybody have any questions about the Castlevania 2 episode?
Why Castlevania 2? Why not any other bad Castlevania game?
I don't know. That's a good question. It just seemed to be the one that I played the most.
A lot of bad Castlevania games.
Yeah, but that was the one I grew up with, so I knew. Well, I mean, I played all of them, but the second one was always that like.
Castlevania 64 is the one I can't stand the most.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because I never really played any of the bad ones at that time. I played them now, but yeah. Yeah.
So after that, after the Simon's Quest video, that was just basically James talking over game footage. And then the second video, James was over my house, and we were just playing some games. And I had about 400 NES games at the time. And we were just James was going through some of my games or whatever, and he found, he's like, oh, what's this game? Oh, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And you probably all know James loves like horror movies. So he's like, yeah, when I was a kid, I went to Blockbuster Video and I rented this game. Like, he wanted to borrow it from me. So he took it home.
I'm like, oh, I remember this horrible game that traumatized me. Can I play it?
Yeah,
like, can
exactly.
I have it?
So I let him borrow the game, and then next time I saw him, I think maybe a week later, he's like, oh, I got something to show you. I'm like, oh yeah? And so we pop up in the tape or whatever, and it's him doing the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde video. But this time there wasn't really much game footage. He was all just like in the shirt. So that was kind of the first time you saw the character. That was the first time you saw the nerd. And then, does anybody have any questions about the Dr. Jekyll episode? Anything? Nothing? You? Yeah?
It was.
You and Plaid there.
How far did you actually get with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Oh, I got like wherever, it must have been like the 6th level or something, and it's like, things start flying at you, like there's these barrels you gotta jump or something. That's where it gets impossible.
I can only get to the actual singing lady, and I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, there's a singing lady, and you have to, like, avoid her musical notes.
Okay, so then after that, the third episode was sort of a hybrid.
Oh, wait a minute. Actually, one quote from that. I just remember the quote at the end is, I'm dead fucking serious. That was how the video ended.
That was going to be like one of the nerds' like catchphrases, and I guess it was
yeah.
for a while. So anyway, after that, so it was Simon's Quest was all the game footage. The second one was mostly you on screen, and then the third video is the nerd we all have come to know and love, where you combine the game footage with the nerd on screen, and that was the Karate Kid video. Again, I think you were over my house, we were playing games, and we decided, oh God, this game's horrible. With how he falls down the holes and all that, or you're punching over and over, and just that game is just terrible. But so that was the third video,
and that was the first one. When I made that one, it was going to be a trilogy. That was going to be the last one. Yeah. It was, but that one was also so much better. Like I put more time into that episode than the others.
Right.
And that was also when YouTube was around. So now there was this new way you could upload videos. Before YouTube, there was a site I would use sometimes called studentfilms.com, but you would actually have to like pay at the time. You'd pay to get your video uploaded. You'd send them like a VHS tape and like $1 a minute, like if it's a 12-minute video. I think now it's free and everything, but then
well, the first 3 videos were on Cinemassacre just as like QuickTime files.
Yeah.
For a long time, and that was
because I didn't think that much. I didn't know it would be so big, so I was just like, okay, I'll put it on the site. And then you're like, oh, let's put it on YouTube. I'm like, oh yeah, YouTube. Like I didn't think YouTube.
Like,
I didn't think YouTube would be
You didn't
that
even know
big.
what YouTube was. There's like, there's this new site where you can upload videos called YouTube. It was like, wow,
And it's
you
free?
can add tags. It's so cool.
People can comment on them.
Yeah, it was like the new thing, and now it's like, imagine that. Imagine YouTube not existing.
Yeah. So
But-
then it was like, let's go back to those VHS tapes, put the old ones out, and then that's when it really became a series.
Right. So it was 3 episodes, and that was it. That was it. That was going to be the end of the series. It was just going to be the trilogy. And then I was like, dude, no, this is so funny. Like, you got to make another one. We had a job working together, like editing videos for a while, and I was pestering him for a while. I'm like, that Karate Kid video is so funny. You got to like make another one. He's like, all right, I think it's just a trilogy. That's enough. That's enough. And I'm like, no, make another one. And then he's like, all right, finally. He's like, all right, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, and then we got a stack of games out, and I chose to do Roger Rabbit. And then we sat, and I remember recording Roger Rabbit with you, and we had like the little camera, and there was a little LCD screen like about this big, and the Roger Rabbit video, we were actually playing it on that little LCD screen. So when you watch that video, it's like us sitting there like trying to play it on that. That's how we used to do it when we didn't really
I actually
know how to-
forgot about that.
Yeah.
When you had to play them on a screen about this size,
Yeah. So,
And also, well, actually, did anybody have a question about the Karate Kid episode?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what you got? Oh, are there any more? What? No, I only played that one. Yeah.
what's the other one?
What's the other one called? Oh no. As far as I know, I think there's only the Nintendo one, isn't there?
Unless there's one in the new movie.
Oh, what, the next Karate Kid? Oh, you mean yeah, the
I mean, like the
Jaden
Jaden
Smith one. Yeah, I don't know actually.
Not the next
Yeah, I'm
movie.
sure it'd be much better though.
Yeah, anything would be better.
But
So
yeah, we'll go into, and actually, and I don't expect us to get through every episode. By the way, that'll be impossible. But we'll just see where it goes. So, Roger Rabbit. Anything left about that one?
That's when we uploaded the videos onto YouTube, and it was amazing because before that, going to college and all that, it was like you try to show somebody one of your movies, and you show it to like a couple of people, would be the most people you could get. So when we put these videos on YouTube, it was like, wow, 20,000 people watched the video. It was like mind-blowing. So it was like, at that point, you kind of felt like, well, I have to make more now.
I didn't think those numbers were real.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I couldn't imagine there's actually a room of real people and that there's people who actually watch these videos. I just couldn't imagine it because, before you just put it on a VHS tape and you hand it out to your friends and maybe show it at like a party or something, but...
So the Roger Rabbit episode, and then after that, you got involved with Screw Attack.
Mm-hmm.
They saw the first 4 videos on YouTube, and they were like, "Wow, this is cool. Let's contact this guy." And that's when that happened. And so for a while there, you were releasing the videos first on Screw Attack. They would come out there, and then a week later, we put them on YouTube. So that was going on for a while. And the first one you did for Screw Attack was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episode. Which is a pretty popular one, and I remember also playing that game with you. We were sitting there going back and forth, and I remember the part of it that when you handed the controller to me, and that made it in the video, was the part where like Michelangelo is like jumping and trying to get the pizza over and over, and he's trying to get through that like little hole to get the pizza, and also at the end when you go, you can just walk across it because actually. Like we were saying before, when we were in college, we would play the game, and I was actually pretty good at the game. I had beaten the game before, and when we were playing that, I remember I thought the turtles had different abilities basically, and I thought that maybe like Donatello was stronger or like Michelangelo could jump higher and stuff, but that's not true at all. That's just like what I was thinking. So I was trying to jump up into that little gap with Michelangelo.
The weapons,
yeah. Anyway, so. We're trying to figure out how do you get across that gap, and then I'm going back and forth, and I'm like, oh, you can just walk over it, and then you started laughing at me. You're like, you didn't know that or whatever. So I walk over, and then anyway, that ended up in the video. So that's just kind of how we work. We play the games together, and then I might say something, and then if it's funny, James will end up using it in the video.
And that was also a convenient time because I think at the time these videos were made, like the episodes in 2006, we were actually both working together at this corporate job, editing industrial videos and shit.
Job
So
sucked.
yeah. But sometimes after that, you know, we would go home and play some games because we lived somewhat close to each other, and that's when we had a lot of time to do that, where we could play the games together.
Mm-hmm.
It was harder for me to make the episodes because then I had to edit them when, you know, like it was like
After work.
After work, yeah.
You'd work all day editing and then come home and then edit more.
And edit more, yeah. But after that job, I mean, I'm getting ahead, but after like that year, we didn't have the chance to play games as often. So a lot of times it would just be me playing them by myself, or like sometimes you would play a game and like say, "Oh, I played this game and it's really bad. You should try it," or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So any quotes you remember from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle episode?
Would you like the TMNT rant?
I would like the rant.
Yeah, because it's funny. I have all the quotes up right now. I'm just looking at like some favorite quotes, and like there was a time I used to be able to remember that, and as the years went on, I started.
You know
to
what part of
forget
that
it.
I liked when you said "splinters my ass" and "shredders my ass and splitters my balls."
Yeah, you know what's, you know what's funny? Like originally it was going to be this game shreds ass and splinters my balls, but then I was like, that sounds like splinter is my balls. That's funnier because it doesn't make any sense. It goes like, cowabunga. Cow a fucking piece of dog shit. This game is diarrhea coming out of my dick. This game is as appealing as a fucking ooze-infested, dirty fucking sewer rat shit. I've had more fun playing with dog turds. Shredders my ass and splinters my balls. This game is an inside-out asshole regurgitating putrid anal fecal matter. I'd rather fucking yank all the hairs out of my scrotum. I'd rather drink diarrhea vomited out of a buffalo's anus. It sucking fucks, it fucking sucks, it fucking blows, it's a piece of shit, and I don't like it. That quote is ridiculous. I didn't even that's the first time I've ever even read that quote in a long time. I'm like, what the hell was I thinking when I wrote that?
The only one I can remember that's longer than that is the end of the Friday the 13th one. The whole, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So, what was the next episode? I think Back to the Future, right? Tell them about,
Bob Gale?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so Back to the Future episode. There was an interview recently, like maybe a year or two ago, with Bob Gale, writer of Back to the Future, and I think he actually quoted the episode, I think, or he linked to it in the interview or something like that.
So basically he's seen it. So the guy who made Back to the Future has actually sat and watched that.
Yeah, and
actually
actually
mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, it just looked like, at first I'm like, okay, well, it's not really...
Can you imagine Michael J. Fox sitting there watching it?
Yeah, I know, right? And AJ LaCasio, the voice actor of Marty, said that Bob Gale saw it, so yeah, that's pretty cool. You never think. Oh, one thing that was funny, the Back to the Future episode, they used a clip of it on MTV when they had like a little segment about viral videos on MTV News, and then I'm in there for a brief clip where I'm talking about this game is just as bad as if you just shat in a bag and wrote Back to the Future on it or something. And I'm like, okay, I am on television talking about shitting in a bag. I didn't see that coming. So that was the first time that it hit me, this show is getting big. So.
And I think I remember that's when we first started putting stuff in the background for videos. Didn't you stick a teddy bear or something in the background just to see if anybody would notice?
Did anybody notice the teddy bear? Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah, it's just it's just, I just put random things. In the Karate Kid episode, I have a stuffed animal sticking out of my pocket, and I would do stuff just to see if people would comment, because
the early episodes were kind of I thought the room was sort of barren, so I would bring some of my gaming stuff over. If you remember the Bible games episode, that little Bowser on the TV, that was mine. I brought that over.
Yeah.
I was decorating the room with gaming stuff. I'm this doesn't look gamer-ish enough.
Yeah.
Sticking stuff in the background.
Yeah.
So
that's when you start bringing some games over and stuff. You're just putting anything. Because you were trying to get rid of a lot of games, I think, at the time.
I was selling games. And,
yeah.
I was just giving some to you.
Yeah.
But,
so...
Back to the Future quotes?
Back to the Future quotes. Yeah. Well, there's got to be one from
Any Back to the Future questions?
It's more of a general question. But,
Okay.
have you showed a lot of your videos to your parents at all? And if so, what do they think of playing?
like they've seen like some episodes. My mom more. My dad doesn't really use the internet, but he's really old school. You know, he's more old school than me.
No cell phone?
You know, he's got that at least, but you know, no. My mom is just really supportive of it. You know, she's just really, you know, just that she knows I've been doing this my whole life, is making videos and stuff. So she's just happy to see me, you know, doing my dad. You know, he's just like, well, is it going good? Like, okay, good then. You know, that's it. Hey, we got. Let's see. Let's go all the way to the back. You write down. Yeah.
You were also mentioning Howard Stern, just to let you know.
Oh yeah, I was. Oh, Howard Stern quoted. He said, "The nerd is racking it in, raking it in." Yeah. Do we want to move off Back to the Future, or do we got a couple more Back to the Future?
Back to the Future questions specifically?
Yeah, we're right there.
What's up with the shirt in the beginning of the episode?
It's screwed up. I'm wearing this like wrinkled shirt. Like I just got out of the wash. I didn't feel like I didn't like dry it all the way or something. I don't know.
That was before you got serious, like doing the videos. Like you kind of were joking around at first.
Yeah.
Then you know, got the whole nerd shirt. Eventually you got a pocket protector.
I thought it worked because it looked like you just got through a shitty game.
Yeah, there you go. Because sometimes the unintentional things. Hey, you got one right there?
Yeah, what happened to the toaster?
Which poster?
The toaster.
Toaster.
Oh, the toaster. Yeah. Yeah. Well, nothing happened to it. It just, you know, it was just a digital effect. I mean, is that what you mean? Like,
When the fire comes out of the toaster? Yeah, that was just a like effect he put on it. The toaster didn't really explode.
Yeah. I thought maybe we were talking about like the toaster, the Nin toaster.
I thought he meant that at first.
Yeah. You know, like the toaster that actually plays NES games. Yeah.
What are you going to do with that? Are you like going to use that in a movie, or are you going to continue it?
Oh yeah, I'm still using it because it works better than any of the other any other Nintendos I have. All the other toasters just burn the games. That's a flashback. That was on the panel with Brett Vanderbroek here. That was what happened there. So I guess we should move on to Mick Kids.
Yeah.
I played that too.
Yeah, and you know what? That was when like
What did you think of the McKids episode?
I hate that episode,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't know. I mean, it's
Because
not
you know,
terrible.
Mick Kids is not really a bad game. What happened was we were playing some games. We just thought that was funny because it's a McDonald's game.
It's gotta suck. It's a McDonald's
You
game.
know, it's got Grimace in it. We were like, oh, this will make for some good comedy. But actually, the game isn't really that bad.
Yeah.
So it's kind of...
Yeah, as we were going, we're like, okay, yeah, the game sucks. Actually, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's actually pretty good. And then we already wasted like an hour playing it, and it was like, okay, so...
It was an excuse to make
Let's
some
just-
McDonald's jokes, basically.
Yeah, it's like, oh, the people who made this game were paid minimum wage or something. So it was just like jokes, you know, and then... But that was also, I don't know, it just wasn't the best. Any McKids question?
Did you ever end up eating it?
No.
Made it to the lava. I was playing it with him, and I think we made it up to the lava stage where I think it shows it in the video when he jumps off and commits suicide. That's basically as far as we made it. And he says,
Yeah.
"Toasty," you know.
We're just trying to think of like a funny way to end it too. So it was like we knew we could get past the part, but we were just like, let's just die here, and
Yeah.
you know, Wally Bear and the No Gang. And oh, you know what? The biggest thing, I dropped the ball. Oh, twice actually. The Roger Rabbit video. There was a phone number in that game, and there's a phone number in the Wally Bear game. The phone number in the Roger Rabbit game used to give you like tips. You know, you'd call the number, but in the 20-something years, 25 years or whatever since the game, you know, the number has been disconnected, and now it's actually a number for a sex hotline. So you have a Nintendo game giving you a phone number for a sex hotline, and then Wally Bear actually had a phone number in it that had you call up, and then like Wally Bear starts talking to you and like telling you, you know, not to do drugs and stuff. And
That's not connected anymore, right?
it's, you know what, it's as
Or is it?
it isn't, but when we did the episodes, I forgot anything about the phone numbers. Like when I did Roger Rabbit, I just never thought to call the number and find that out. And then I never thought to do the Wally Bear number, even though the number's right on the first screen in the game. But then many years, or like maybe a year after the Wally Bear episode, for the DVD, I like added that in. And as soon as the DVD came out, that number got disconnected.
Yeah. So people probably thought you were lying, right?
Yeah, I was like, if that number would have just sted on for just a little longer. I mean, it went that long. Did it have to disconnect itself now?
Like the day the DVD got
Yeah.
all right, so what's...
Anything about Wally Bear? That's cool. We can move on. What's next? The next episode, Master Chew and the Drunkard Who.
That episode, Master Chew and the Drunkard Who, that was the one that had Shit Pickle in it. Mm-hmm. And Shit Pickle came from... Shit Pickle I drew, and that was from a project James and I did called The Wizard of Oz 3, Dorothy Goes to Hell. And Shit Pickle... Shit Pickle was a replacement for Toto, basically, in the movie. And anyway, so we ended up using him later on in the Master Chew episode.
It's supposed to be like one of those characters that can only say its name, like Grey Bape.
Yeah, exactly. Grey Bape.
So he's like, Shit Pickle, Shit Pickle, Shit Pickle.
But originally that video was actually, I don't know if any of you guys remember the DuckTales video game vault, but what that video was supposed to be was a review of the DuckTales game, and then at the end, the Master Chew thing was just going to be a bonus. And then afterwards, James was like, I don't really want to talk about DuckTales because that's not a bad game. Like, that's, DuckTales is a good game. So that just got made into just the Master Chew, and then James added in Shit Pickle for comedic effect.
Because that video needed something. It was like that video was suffering. It's like there was nothing.
Yeah. There wasn't much to say about Master Chew, so that's why Shit Pickle had to come in.
If I were to play it now, I bet I could come up with more stuff to say. But at the time, it was
not really. It's a very bland game, actually.
Yeah. So like I was kind of like at the time I was kind of like burning out a little bit because I was pumping these videos out really fast and still working that that really tough editing job on the side. Top Gun was next, and that one kind of got a little better, I think. Top Gun was one of the classic episodes.
The part, I remember playing that with you again, and I remember the one part we were doing, the part where they're like, there's 10 missiles, 20 missiles, and like 50 missiles, and we're sitting there like, wait a second, like why would you choose 10 missiles if you can just choose 50? Like choose more, like if you have the option.
Yeah, the other ones were like more powerful or something, but everything died.
It wasn't like you had to pay for them
or
anything, you just choose whatever you want, so choose the most, But yeah, that was a really fun episode. Any Top Gun quotes? Any Top Gun questions?
Were you ever able to land the plane?
Yeah, not at the time I did that video though, but since then I've done it in the the revisited episodes where I like went back and like explained how things were done. But so I have, but it's like once you know what you're doing, it can be done. It's just the way the game explains it to you, and it tells you to go up and down, and it doesn't really, a quote though. I mean, that's the one that had the ass.
That's the best quote from it.
I think so. Yeah. So, Double Dragon 3.
Double Dragon 3. That is.
That was the one with Bimmy and Jimmy.
Right, Bimmy and Jimmy. Yeah. the one quote I remember, I think, saying was something about the fat guy doing belly flops.
Oh yeah.
And all that, and but Bimmy and Jimmy was the funniest part of that one. But you know what? That was a pretty short video, and like there's a lot more to say about that. Do you remember that like other guy? He did like a really long, like hour-long video about Double Dragon 3.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway, there was I remember the quote in there. Your brown bread.
Yeah.
Was like that was my friend who I worked with. I think at this time you quit that job.
Liam.
Yeah, you quit the job, and the guy who replaced you was from England, and we would sometimes play games, and he would like. He would always say these things I'd never heard before. Is like when you die, he's like, "Oh, you're brown bread."
Yeah.
I'm like, "What's that mean?" And he's like, "Oh, that means you're dead." And so when I said it in the video, then I got all the English fans came out of the woodwork then and was like, "Oh, he's."
That was Liam Mulvey, and he was actually he was actually Michael Myers in the Halloween episode in the scene with the kids in there because that's their dad, and the scenes in the basement there. That was me for that one.
Yeah.
So
He's helped with camera sometimes. We need someone to.
That's true. He
operate
has
the camera.
the Bugs Bunny episode, Crazy Castle. He helped film that, and he's on the DVD.
And this is where I think the series really kind of picked up for me, because like I said, I was kind of like burning out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, kind of like, okay, where does this go now? Like, I thought it was going to end, like I wasn't going to do anymore at one point. Then I did Friday the 13th, and that just like brought it all back. It was like, because that was the first time Mike ever really got involved, like on camera and everything.
In front of the camera. Right?
Yeah, and it's funny actually how very slowly you became revealed, because at first you had a mask.
Yeah.
You never see his face.
I was camera shy, and I didn't really want to be in front of the camera, but
Yeah.
James was like, well, you'll have a mask on. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, but very slowly, like then we did ones where he's in makeup, so it's not a mask anymore, but now it's just makeup
Yeah.
on your face,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Lion and the Joker and the
Right.
Klingon, and then very slowly it would be like less makeup, like the Joker had less makeup than like the Klingon, and then
Right.
and then eventually it just became like, you know, now
Board
you're
James
the
and all that,
and you're
right.
just you now, so
And now it's just me.
he like slowly appeared from behind.
I had to be every character in the spectrum before I got to just being me.
Hey, what you got?
Does he really cheat at games all the time?
Oh, so sometimes, yeah, we both, you know, play mean sometimes. Cool. So, what else about Friday the 13th? You got one?
Yeah, with the zapper effect, when you shot him in the head on the floor.
Yeah.
Why didn't you use like the super scope, or why the zapper was just a quintessential? Did you not?
Did you even
Did I
have the
have-
super scope? I don't think he had the super scope yet, or did you?
I must not have, because if I did, I probably would have used it. But I think maybe the zapper is just a little more iconic.
I think you also kind of like pulled it out of your back, and that probably, and then
Yeah,
you
I would
know,
have it like it
so
comes out, you know.
the scope probably wouldn't have worked anyway.
Oh.
Okay, are you guys still with Kyle Justin? I mean, I haven't seen him since your Crazy Castle review.
Yeah, he's been off the grid for a while, yeah. But no, he's still around, yeah.
Yeah, because I like heard from Wikipedia, like you guys moved to Philly, he's still in Jersey, that kind of thing.
No, I mean he's really busy, and we've been busy, so I haven't seen him in a long time, but we'll meet again. So
Yeah.
we'll try to bring him back somewhere. We'll
Yeah,
see.
Thanks, the three of you guys were awesome. I really appreciate all the great work you guys do.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
for Screw Attack, which is
Yeah.
like the greatest site ever.
Cool. Thank you.
You think so too?
Yeah.
Well, with Cinemassacre, I like that site too.
Well, you attack, you massacre, you know.
Very well said.
Alright, this is more about your earlier episodes, but what, like, since you were like always angry in those, obviously, but were there any like characters you were inspired by to like, you know, really trigger that anger? Something like any sort of really angry character?
For the nerd,
Yeah.
my boss at the time. I'm not even kidding. But it's true, yeah. You do think of like people you know or characters you've seen, and you kind of put them all together and make your own character. You had something else?
I just wanted to say you're a really big inspiration for everything.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Everything.
Oh, cool.
So after Friday the 13th came the continuation of Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
And for that episode, there was a couple shots in there where it's me and I'm playing Freddy Krueger, but for most of the video, James is playing Freddy Krueger, a lot of time in shadow. And also, we had a few other people helping. I think your wife also helped out a little bit on that episode, with the glove over the couch and all that.
Yeah, that's true. That was her hand at the end.
Is
It's
there
whoever's around. That's when I filmed the
Yeah,
episodes. It's
basically.
like, hey, you want to help out here? Here.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey, you want to be in the video? Come
Yeah.
on. You know, it's like that.
So, hey, way in the back. I heard the ET landfill. I mean, the ET story, the landfill, is probably like the most famous game story of all time. So this is like you're starting like you're talking about like a rip-off war or something. So we're not trying to talk about stuff like that. So you got a question about Nightmare on Elm Street, or we'll move on to the next episode. Hey, what you got right there?
Just a question about when you started off with Friday the 13th and then into Nightmare on Elm Street. It's like from there, did you guys plan out to say, okay, like to bring some of your cinematic experience into it, to actually make it continuing stories, and then keeping with that theme in later episodes? Was that like your plans just go from one to one to one, and just get like a nice smooth transition?
Yeah, at first I kind of felt like it could have kept going on maybe, because then the Power Glove really had no business being at the end, and just because the Freddy Glove and the Power Glove, and we're like, oh, this is a good transition. And so yeah, I liked that. I liked having like a cliffhanger, but then it kind of got to the point where it was like, okay, when you do a cliffhanger and then people know what the next one is, they have like a whole month or whatever, be before the next one.
They get really hyped up, and then they might be disappointed.
Yeah.
So try to keep it secret.
Yeah, and then if they already know what you're going to do, then it's like a lot of times people already like, play the game. They'll know everything about it, or it's just they'll do their own videos, and then by the time yours comes out, it's like, oh, he didn't talk about this, or he didn't say this, and then
that's kind of why you never like tell like what the episode is before it comes out. It's always like a surprise when a new nerd episode out. Oh, he's doing this game, as opposed to like saying, oh, my next game is going to be this, because people get their expectations real high. So what was the next Power Glove? I bet there's got to be some good Power Glove quotes.
Yeah. What's up?
The Wizard motion picture, you mentioned something about the Power Glove.
Yeah, it's bad. So bad.
Yeah, Lucas.
The one part I just remember was that it's like, what's the most important thing about any game? Well, being able to play it.
I think it was being able to fucking play it.
Probably, yeah. So yeah, we might only get through like the first year, but that's okay. I mean, it's like first year of nerd. Then this will be instead of 8 years. But this is kind of like most people always want to know like, how did it start and everything. So this is pretty much all.
This is like the elaborate explanation of how it started.
Yeah, this is really the nitty gritty. So, hey, what you got right down there?
It's a bit off topic, but in the Little Red Hood episode, when you compared the music to the frothy sound crackling ass, by that?
The frothy sound of crackling ass. I did at someone. What video was it that again?
Red Hood.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I was just trying to come up with a way to compare the music to something. So sometimes I sit there for like an hour trying to come up with something. I'm like, what can I?
And then you're like, the crackling ass.
Yeah, because like, oh, it sounds like farts. What's another word for farts? And I'm like trying to think, like, how about the frothy crackling ass? Like, okay. Okay, what you got there?
With the Friday the 13th, why Friday the 13th? Why not Halloween? Why didn't you start with that? Was there any particular reason?
Yeah, because I played Friday the 13th as a kid. Halloween was a really rare game. Like that was like,
and also Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Those Atari games were real expensive, and it took
like
us a while to get
$100
those.
Yeah, those are like $200 games or something. So
we knew that would be the natural thing. Like after we finished that, we were like, oh, if we're gonna do like 2 more next year, we got to do Halloween and Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But it took a while to get those. That's why.
Yeah. Hey.
The Power Glove episode. Could you really land the Top Gun plane with the Power Glove?
Oh no! I mean, you could try. I'd be impressed if you did it. Yeah.
Yeah, of course, I've always wanted to ask you, in your Atari Ford episode, you opened up with a story about being a kid in class and teacher wanted to know more about custard, and you wanted to bring up the Atari Ford games. But then in the behind the scenes, you talk about how you just recently learned about them. So, what does James Rolfe end and the nerd begin?
Oh, when did
Well, I told him about those games in college, so James knew about them for a long time.
But what does he draw a distinction between his own personal self and the character of the nerd?
I don't know. It's more like it's just you.
Am I going too deep in it? It's just silly game reviews.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's different, obviously, but I don't know where. But it's true. I mean, because what you're saying is like part of it is true, where like some of your real self goes into the character, some of your real memories and everything. Like the nerd will never say like, oh, I remember I played this game when I was a kid. If I didn't really play it,
Like
and if I
the
did,
things you say
'cause
are
I-
your real opinions, so it is kind
yeah.
of you.
And if I'm like kind of playing the game for my first time, like I kind of portray it as if the nerd is. It's like, oh, this game, look, this might be good or whatever, or this looks bad, and like let's try this out. But like a lot of the real memories, you know, are real. And then actually, what's interesting sometimes. Like in the Dick Tracy episode, and I talked about myself as a kid, as I actually had the footage of myself. That's footage of just, you know, it's obviously not the nerd. It's a footage, of home video of me.
At home.
But now that home video of me is the home video of the character as well. So it is like, you know, you kind of make the character as close to yourself as you can.
I first heard about you guys on Opie and Anthony, and you have a wow sticker on the TV in the earlier episodes.
Yeah.
Why do you have that on there?
I don't remember where I got that, but yeah, I had it, so you know.
Were you ever a big fan of them? Or I know you were on their show once, right?
Yeah, like I mean, I used to listen to, you know, I listened to MMR and YSP all the time, so that was the two rock stations that I would usually listen to when I was, you know.
That was an old
in high
TV
school.
you had since you were a kid, so.
Yeah, I mean, the sticker went on it much more recent, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Okay.
it wasn't like listening to Opie and Anthony when I was a kid, but that TV was really old, so I just was decorating it to,
Oh, okay.
you know.
I understand, since being angry all the time, like you said, can get a bit tedious in the character. And when you supposedly were beat up by Rob in the 100th episode, I kind of could have seen. I kind of could have believed that you were trying to get more of an emotional response out of your audience right then. Have you ever wanted to get more of a emotional response out of your audience more than just laughing?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, yeah, no, it's a very, very good question. Yeah,
Because you die in the episode.
yeah, because it's kind of like when you do a short, you know, web episode. It's not really something that you usually get into all the emotions. It's usually like a quick fix, like you get a laugh out of it and it's over. But then whenever I do have a chance, I try to have something a little more, like in the Battletoads episode when it flashes back to Kyle and he's living behind the couch and he's like, and it's like sad, you know. It's like I do like it when there can be another emotion in it. So, and that's more, and plus, you know, I want to do like a movie so I could kind of have the nerd kind of actually show him like what are like all his like psychological complexes and everything.
I just wanted to say I really appreciate everything you do, and honestly, when I say this, I'm not joking. Honestly, thanks to you, I don't have to cry myself to sleep every night.
Oh my
Thank you.
Mine too.
Oh, and
Yeah. Cool. So let me
keep
see.
going.
Actually,
Rocky,
I'm just
I
gonna
believe,
see.
is the next one, right?
Well, okay. So
How much time we
we
have?
could quickly do that. I'm gonna do. Let's see. Hey, anybody know if my signing is at 5 sharp or what?
what?
Say again.
Yeah.
Like, do we got to wrap this up? Is what I'm trying to find out. We need to
Yes.
wrap this up. Okay. So there were 3 episodes left of 2006.
Rocky Bible games.
Rocky, I would chronologically confused. I would skip to just the.
What one do you have the most to say?
Let's just mention Bible games and then and maybe just mention the movie again at the
Okay.
end, and then we'll get to the signing.
All right, so Bible games.
Yeah, I've heard of those games, but I never thought I'd see them in person. And then Mike had a lot of them, so he brought them over.
I remember you were like, what are these blue cartridges? I've never seen blue Nintendo cartridges, so you're kind of blown away by that.
Yeah, it's funny to see a blue game, but I didn't know that there was many of them. But yeah, that was just it was just a funny concept that, you know, it's like games made off the Bible, but they're really, really weird, like Super Noah's Ark 3D when you're shooting all these goats and like knocking them senseless with fruit or something.
And that was basically the last episode before you went to game trailers and.
That's true, yeah. Any questions about Bible games? Hey.
Did you ever beat any of the games? See an ending like I know about all the animals on the ark. And
Yeah. The in Bible Games 3, it's crazy to think that I did 3 of those, and the third one, which is the newest nerd episode, actually. Wow, that one actually I showed the endings of some of those games, I think, but you know, yeah, I've beaten very few of them. They aren't very exciting endings. Hey, we're back there.
I know you're definitely not going to make a Bible game before, but did you hear there's a Game Boy Advance Bible game?
No.
Yeah, there's more current like Bible games out there, but it's usually to try to do like the retro ones, you know.
All right, so 8 years of nerd, we got through 1. So maybe we'll pick up the next. We'll do it the next 7 too many games. So yeah. Thank you, and everybody. You know, keeps wishing me good luck with the movie. So thanks a lot for that. Thanks for supporting the film and getting it made and everything, because it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for, you know, one, everybody actually, you know, supporting it and you know, donating and everything, and then 2 is just keeping alive the story of the E.T. game and everything, because it's the greatest game story of all time, and that's only just the acorn of what we're going to grow into the great oak of the story. So yeah, so just stay tuned on Cinemassacre for updates on that. So hopefully later this, I just posted like a 15-minute video like a couple weeks ago about just me talking about it, giving the updates, and then I posted an FAQ about it recently. But you know, hopefully by the end of the summer there'll be some more news, and we'll have like a trailer or something ready. So I hope, you know, it'll start going quick. The bullshit is back. You know, it's bullshit episodes. I'm really happy. You know what? Can we tell it? Yeah. I finished, you know, I just finished one. I just posted it recently. There's 9 more coming. So the rest of the summer, there'll be some more bullshit. Yeah. All right, so thanks a lot. I'm going to go back to the merch table again to continue the autograph signing. So,
and I will be signing now too if you want an autograph.
Yeah, so cool. Thanks a lot.